Boris Johnson will give the go-ahead to a British military rocket program as part of the biggest investment in the armed forces since the end of the Cold War. In a common speech on Thursday, the Prime Minister will promise an extra £16.5 billion for the country's defence budget over the next 4 years. Part of the cash will set up a new space command to oversee the development of military satellites and other cutting-edge defense technology projects, including the launch of the country's first rocket into orbit. Ahead of his address to MPs, he said on Wednesday night, "I have taken this decision in the teeth of the pandemic because the defense of the realm must come first. The international situation is more perilous and more intensely competitive than at any time since the Cold War, and Britain must be true to our history and stand alongside our allies. To achieve this, we need to upgrade our capabilities across the board. This is our chance to end the era of retreat, transform our armed forces, bolster our global influence, unite and level up our country, pioneer new technology and defend our people and way of life." Mr. Johnson will set out the defence spending plans to the Commons by video link from Downing Street while continuing his self-isolation following a meeting with a Tory MP who later tested positive for coronavirus. He was beamed onto screens in the chamber on Wednesday for an historic first virtual Prime Minister's questions as a result of the quarantine. The £16.5 billion announced on Thursday will come on top of the commitment in last year's Tory general election manifesto to increase defence spending by 0.5% every year of the current parliamentary term. In total, UK defence spending will increase by £24.1 billion over 4 years compared to last year's budget. The investment is expected to confirm the UK's position as the biggest defence spender in Europe and the second largest in NATO. Mr. Johnson will also announce a new agency dedicated to developing artificial intelligence and the creation of a national cyber force. And he is to give the go-ahead to the rocket project to launch satellites for civilian and military use. The rocket is expected to blast off from Scotland in 2021. He will promise £5.8 billion in spending on military research and development and commit the government to invest further in a planned new fighter aircraft. Defense Secretary Ben Wallace said, "This is excellent news for defense, and provides us with the financial certainty we need to modernize, plan for the future and adapt to the threats we face. It demonstrates the Prime Minister's recognition of how important defense is to our resilience and to the reputation of the United Kingdom."